down. Let's stand ourselves up. Let's get on our feet. Did your friend make it, Kat? Okay, I'm glad you did. So take a look down at the mat and take yourself to the back of the mat. We're going to step to the back. There is like some kind of statement about stepping up to the top of the mat and putting your feet together, and then there's something about easing in for me. If we just kind of like walk it back and open our feet a little bit, and we just soften the knees, like just feel what that feels like. Just kind of soften into your knees. Sometimes we think about like being at attention, right? But I really want you to just ease in today. So soften the knees, soften the hips, and then just let your body fold over. Just let it melt. The spine melts until your head is hanging down. And then sway a little side to side. Can you find a little bit of fluidity in your body? Yeah. And then let your hands come over and grab onto the right ankle. Draw your head down toward your shin. Just notice what that feels like. We want to keep both feet grounded and just feel for a minute. And then sway a little side to side. See if you can get the spine to actually like undulate. So there's like sort of like a, I don't know, like a different kind of a sway happening. Not just the stiff pendulum, but more of like something fluid. Yeah, that's a little better. And then find your way over to the left side, grab your ankle, draw your head down. Again, just feeling curiously, no judgments. I think it's important that we come into our bodies, we come into our breath, and we come into the present moment. Let's go ahead and sway a little side to side again. I love how some of us sway our heads, some of us sway our shoulders, some of us are swaying our hips, some of us are swaying all of it. How in touch are you with your body? How stiff do you feel? Like, can you invite a little bit of freedom? Yeah, I like it. And then find center. Keep those knees soft, pull the belly to the spine. Let's tuck the chin a little and tuck the tailbone and start to roll up slowly. Just roll it up, stack one vertebra on top of the other until you're standing nice and tall. Let's lift the shoulders, roll them back. Do that 2 more times. Just bring them forward, up and back. That's it. And then we'll switch the direction. Bring them up and forward and then down and behind you. Big, big circles in the shoulders. Yeah, just 2 or 3 of those. And then let your arms relax by your sides. Turn the palms to face up. On your next inhalation, let your arms rise. Let the breath and the movement happen at the same time. And then exhale, bring your arms down. So part of our practice is syncing the breath and the movement. Do it again. Inhale, arms reach. Don't let the arms beat the breath there. And then exhale, bring it down. It's interesting to have to unite. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, bring them back down. This time we're going to move on. Inhale, arms reach again. On the exhale, forward fold. So you fold all the way down, head down as the lungs empty out. And then lift halfway on the inhale. Come to a flat back. Let's fold on the exhale. Good. Again, halfway lift as you inhale. Try not to beat the breath there. Just keep filling, keep extending the spine, and then exhale, fold in deeply. Keep folding slowly, deeply. Again, inhale, lift halfway. And then exhale, fold. I think we're starting to get it. This time, inhale, lift halfway, look forward. Let's walk it out into plank pose. This is your exhale. And then take a deep breath here in plank. Straighten your legs, straighten your arms, pull the belly to the spine so you feel a sense of muscles hugging bones. Let's take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, lift your hips and go to down dog. The air comes out as you press back. And then inhale, come forward again. Shoulders over the wrists, body engaged. Exhale, press it back. So moving and breathing 2 more times. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, pressing back. Here's your last one. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, press it back. This time we'll stay in down dog. Give a really good press through your handprints. See if you can lift your hips a little higher. We're not trying to sink the chest down toward the floor. Instead, lift your chest, lift your front ribs. Lift the belly up and in. And then press your legs back a little more. Last inhale here. And then as you exhale, let's look forward. Together we'll walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Bring your feet together. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale and fold. And then inhale, rise with a flat back. Lift your head and your chest. Reach your arms up. And then bring the hands right to heart center. Do you want your friends to see you up here? Okay, that's good. I was going to help you with the communication. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. As you exhale, step back to plank. Let's hold it for just a moment. Again, find that sense of integration. Plank is such a good place to organize your body, to remember that the musculature is there to support you. Hands kind of squeeze toward each other. The feet almost try to stretch the mat apart behind you. Yeah, let's just take one more inhale, and this time we'll bend the elbows and lay it down onto the belly. Yeah, that was really good. Inhale, cobra pose. We're going to stay with cobra for a few breaths. Let's do at least 3. So exhale, let the chest back down. Inhale, the chest rises, the elbows squeeze back, and the collarbones widen. Yeah. Exhale, release it back down. This one's not about coming up too high. Inhale again, lift the chest, not too much. Now lengthen your legs back behind you and press your feet down onto the floor. That's better. Exhale, release it down, and then tuck your toes and take it into downward facing dog. All right, I really like how you're moving. Let's see if we can keep the rhythm of the breath. Breathing in, breathing out without rushing. Allowing the breath to nourish you, mind, body, and spirit. Take your right leg and lift it up on the inhalation. And then as you exhale, step it forward to your hands. Yep, it can take a couple steps to get there. And then rise up into what we call high crescent lunge. The secret to high crescent lunge is to have a little width. Like you have this nice wide mat. Try not to stand on a tightrope. Maybe the right foot wiggles a little bit over toward the edge of the mat. That's it. Now, how's that left hip flexor feeling? Anybody have a little stiffness there in the back leg hip? Yeah, right there. So let's see if we can lift the back heel a little higher and then bend the back knee. So left knee is going to bend. Bring the knee close to the floor, but don't put it down. That's it. So now both knees are bent about 90 degrees. You're up on your toes. Try to pull your legs into your hip sockets. See if that makes you more steady. That's it. Now, one little tweak, tailbone down. Ooh, I know what happens when you do that. Right? Take a breath. Maybe we lean back just a little bit. And then on the exhale, plant your hands on the mat. Step back to plank. Celebrate how nice it is to be in plank and to keep getting stronger. Let's bend the elbows and lower down onto the belly. Inhale, one breath in cobra, a little back bend. And then exhale right back to downward facing dog. Good. Inhale as the left leg rises. No rushing. Exhale, step it through all the way to the left hand. And then rise up. Find your balance. The arms come way up overhead. And even though we're sweeping our arms toward the sky and our chest is lifted and our heads are up, we still have to think about our feet. Make sure you're not standing on a tightrope or a balance beam. Give yourself space. I still see some of you have a very narrow stance. It really makes a difference if the feet widen about hip distance. You'll really be able to feel how both of them hold you. And then pull the legs into the hip sockets. Let's lift the back heel a little higher. Bend the toes a lot, and then bend the back knee. Let it hover over the mat. The tailbone starts to draw down. We're just saying hello to the right quads, hello to the hip flexor, and then lean back. Give me one more breath. Just make it feel really alive, and then the hands are going to touch down. Step back to plank, put a smile on your face, feel that, and then lower down slowly. Bend your elbows. Inhale for cobra. Just starting to wake it all up. Exhale, take it back into downward facing dog. So remember, we're always moving and breathing. We're trying to sync up the breath and the movement. So you keep breathing in and out. Even though we hold the pose, the breath never stops. At least let's hope not, right? We want to keep breathing. I think sometimes when we get really focused on execution of the poses, we sometimes hold our breath when we concentrate. But today I'm going to ask you to just keep coming back to that feeling of the breath coming in and the breath coming out. Do it with some grace and do it with some mindfulness. Let's inhale and push back just a little. And then as you exhale, just look forward and walk your feet to the top of the mat. Bring them together, please. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, fold. With a flat back, we rise all the way to standing. Lift the head and chest. Start to reach the arms high. Make it feel really good. Stretch up. And then bring your hands right to the heart. Good. Inhale again. Arms reach high. Let's hook our thumbs together and take a stretch over to the right side. That's it. Now, press a little more into both of your feet. Push them equally down. And reach up a little bit more. Feel the thumbs trying to pull each other apart. Now, your left hip bone, I want you to bring that a little forward. Yeah, just feel that hip flexor again. So good. And then return to center. Let's switch the hooking of the thumbs, go over to the other side. We start gently, we make sure we're grounded, and we're breathing. Now right hip bone a little bit forward. Just those little tiny micro movements bring about new awareness and we touch new places. Return to center. As you exhale, let your arms come down. Let's breathe in again, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Fold all the way in. Touch the ground or grab your ankles. Then lift halfway. Inhale. Step it back to plank and lower on the same exhalation. So feet go back and you come down. Empty the lungs. Inhale during cobra. And then exhale as you move into downward facing dog. Good. Take one deep breath, push back. And then exhale, simply step your right foot forward to your hands. This time turn your left foot flat. That back heel is going to turn in and down. And then we rise up for warrior one. Facing forward. So once again, I just want you to feel into the left hip flexor. That's the front of that left hip, and it's being stretched kind of long right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to really ground into the back foot. Feel the pinky toe of the back foot pushing into the mat, and see if you can lift the arch of your back foot. I know you can't see it, but your brain can actually make that happen. This is how we awaken consciousness in all the new parts of the body. So that back foot is really working for you now. Now, take the left side of your body, your hip, your rib, your shoulder, pull that a little more forward. That's it. Now, both arms reach a little more like you mean it. Let's see if we can look up and bring the palms closer together. They might even touch right above your face. That's it. Now, the best part. That right knee is going to bend a little deeper just because I know you can. Yes, take one more breath. That's the fullest expression of the pose right there. Be in it with everything you are. And then exhale, let's come out. Hands down. Step back and lower. Empty out your lungs. Deep breath during cobra. And then exhale right back to downward facing dog. We'll try it on the other side. Left foot steps up, right foot turns flat. Again, give yourself a little bit of width. Try not to line up too tight. The arms sweep up, and we're going to start to work on that right hip flexor. So the back foot has to ground. Make sure that back heel is on the ground. Some of you still have the heel up. And if you're doing that because you have some kind of an injury or something and you have to, that's fine. But if it's just because you checked out for a second and you missed the cue, I'm just reminding you. So remember, everything I say is a suggestion. You don't have to do anything I say. You don't even have to be here, right? This is free will right here, right? Good. So back leg is going to come alive. We're going to push into the foot, and then we're going to try to bring the right side of the body a little more forward. You'll meet resistance, but just work with it. Let's see if we can reach the arms up a little more. Tip the ears back. Maybe the palms touch above the face. Maybe. Yeah. And then that front knee. Yeah, play. Can you get into that front leg without losing the back foot? We never want to lose where we began. The whole pose becomes one. Take one last breath. And then let it go. Hands down. Touch the ground, step back lightly, and lower. Inhale for cobra pose. Beautiful. Exhale, downward facing dog. Fingers are spread wide, hips rise up high, and that breath is still flowing free. Now, typically when we do the vinyasa, when we do the sun salutations, those warriors come in and out pretty quickly. It's one breath. So I want to try that with you. Right foot steps up, left foot flat. One inhale to come into that full expression, everything from the back foot to the fingers touching. And then exhale, hands down, step back, and lower. Empty the lungs as you move down toward the mat. Then inhale for cobra. Exhale, take it back to down dog. How'd that feel? Did it feel rushed? Or did it feel okay? It's okay. I'm getting nods. Okay, it's okay to communicate with me for sure. Let's try it on the left side. Left foot steps up, right foot turns flat. One big inhale. Give me that fullest expression. Feel your feet, feel everything. Your heart forward. And then exhale, hands down, step back, and lower. Empty, empty, empty out the breath. Take a deep breath in your back bend, and then take it back to down dog as you exhale. That was pretty good. Take one inhale, and then as you exhale, just walk your feet right up to the top of the mat. Bring the feet together, inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, fold. Bend your knees, chair pose. Utkatasana. We're gonna sit kind of heavy in the heels, but keep some weight in the toes. You can lift and spread the toes, but you gotta put them back down. Yeah, the feet are all we've got right here. We gotta really stay grounded. And then just resist the temptation to squeeze your knees together. I know a lot of us think that that's the way, like we're going to get strong if we just kind of squeeze those legs. And for years I was told by many teachers, I even cued it early on in my teaching, to squeeze the knees and make your legs feel like one. But what if you put more weight on the pinky toes and you put a little sliver of space between your knees? Then you feel the strength of your legs. Go ahead, sit back now because you can. Good, and then push into your feet, come all the way up. Let's stretch up. Up, 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 up through the waist, and then hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Go to plank and lower on the exhale. We're really building something now. Inhale for cobra pose. Exhale, push back for down dog. And then right foot steps up, left foot turns flat. Here's a big inhale. Rise up for one breath in warrior. Exhale, put your hands back down. Step it back lightly, lower, slow. Empty your lungs. Deep breath in, cobra pose. Exhale, take it back to down dog. Let's do the left side. Left foot steps, right foot flat. Give me a big inhale as you rise up. Good. And then exhale. Eyes down, hands down. Lower. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's all stay in down dog for a moment. Just take a moment of silence for wherever they are racing to. Maybe a moment of gratitude for their service and a little prayer and well-being for whoever it is that they are going to help. Sometimes we forget about that. I don't think life ever should get so busy that we forget about that. Take one more breath. Let's push back just a little bit. And then look at your hands. Let's walk our feet to the top of the mat. feet together. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, fold. Bend your knees, please. Here we come into chair pose. Push through the feet, come all the way up. Let's stretch really long through the waist. Hips forward, chest rising, and then hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, arms reach again. Exhale, forward fold. I think the heat's starting to come. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on that exhalation. Step it back, bend the elbows, take it down slow. Inhale for cobra pose. Exhale, down dog. And then walk your hands back to your feet. So keep your feet about hip distance apart. Walk your hands back to meet your feet at the back of the mat. And then bend your knees 90 degrees and reach your arms forward. Try to look out toward the front edge of your mat. Your feet should be open at least hip distance apart. It'll feel so much better. Now I'm seeing a little bit of rounding in the back. I want you to really try to pull the belly in so it feels like your hips are pulling back and your chest is pulling forward. There's no rounding over here, but it's a lengthening, right? We pull the hips back and we reach forward with the arms and the chest. Try to look toward the front of your mat instead of down toward your toes. It'll help. Good. Now we're going to keep that posture, but take the arms and sweep them toward the floor until they're behind you, and then lift them higher than your own body. Now here, because I think you can, bend your knees more. Keep looking forward. Lift your chest and widen your collarbones. Let's clasp our hands together behind the back. Take a deep breath. And then keep the hands clasped as you fold right in. Let the collarbones stretch. Let the shoulders stretch from all the plank poses. All right. So this is a forward fold. The legs are straight and the head is down. Let's take one more breath here. And then just release the arms. And then with the feet a little bit apart, just like they are, let's come into a version of chair pose. Sit back, arms reach. This time reach the arms high. Yep, up over the head. I know it's a little bit awkward. And then pull your hands right to heart center. That's a little better. Take your right elbow inside your right knee. Think about that. Right elbow inside right knee. And take your first spinal twist. Right elbow inside right knee. I know sometimes we have to hear that a few times. Now, I want you to feel the knee pushing in and the elbow pushing out. Create a little relationship there. We call that a bandha, a lock. And then the left arm can go up toward the sky. It should feel pretty good. And if you're feeling like you want to open wide, take that right hand down to the floor inside your foot. Just breathe. And again, because I think you can, bend your knees, drop your hips a little lower, let your heart lift a little higher. I love it. Hands come back to prayer. Press into them and come back up to center. Push through your feet, stand tall. Whew. All of a sudden, everything got serious. Yep. Take a deep breath. Clear it. I see some of you like making faces. Instead, let's take a deep breath and make a sound. Just go, whew. Yeah. So much better. And sit back. Yep. Sit back nice and deep into the hips. Left elbow inside left knee. Create that little lock. So we didn't cross over. We went left elbow inside left knee. Left elbow inside left knee. So put this one inside. Yeah, it feels better there, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm trying to be nice. Right arm up to the sky. If you feel it, left arm down toward the inner ankle. See if you can sit the hips a little lower. Lift your heart a little higher. There's something nice about that. Dropping the hips, lifting the chest, breathing. Slowly press the palms back together. Push into both feet equally and rise back up. Let's make that sound again. Inhale deeply. Make whatever sound comes out naturally. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Fold all the way in. Yep, lift and lengthen on your inhale. Let's walk it out into plank pose. Hold your plank and roll onto your right side. We call it Vashisthasana. You can tip your heels over to one side so you're on the inner edge of one foot and the outer edge of the other, or you can stack them one on top of the other. Do your best right here to lift your hips and your ribs as high as you can. And then turn your gaze up toward your left thumb. Take a breath. With some grace, nice and slow, return to plank. Nicely done. Roll to the other side. It's important that we awaken the core strength. Let's try to lift everything we've got in the center. That's the heaviest part. And then eyes down, hand down gracefully. Lower yourself down. Inhale for cobra. And then exhale right back into downward facing dog. Try to remember that there's nothing about down dog that's sinking, right? We're not trying to push down and into the pose. We're trying to create a buoyancy. There's a lift at the wrists, the forearms, under the armpits, the ribs. Try to lift the belly up and in. Lift the thighs. Lift your kneecaps. Take one more breath. And then look at your hands. Let's walk our feet right up to the top of the mat. Good. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees for chair pose. Bend your knees, yep. So you sit back, but you reach your arms, and then pull your hands to heart center. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper. Right elbow outside the left knee. Cross over the midline. Now there's a little work to be done here. Can you squeeze the outer hips so the hips sort of stay down and the heart can lift a little? Yes, I love how you all lifted your heads just there. Press into the palms equally so you feel the chest broaden. And I'll encourage you one more time to see if you can sit a little more into the heels and the hips. Yes. You could open the arms here as well, like we did on the first one. It's a little more challenging, so you don't have to. If you're good where you are, just enjoy it. And then bring your hands back to heart center. Press equally into your feet as you rise up. It's important. Good. Let's take a deep breath. Reach both arms high over the head. Start to draw the tailbone down. So we don't want booty out here. We want to draw the tailbone down. And then we're going to just lift the rib cage. Can you pick up out of the side waist? Lift the rib cage, lift the chest, and then just start to pull the arms back a little bit. If you want to tip the ears back and look up slightly, you can. It's much more of an extension than it is a back bend. Make some space. Hip points a little bit forward. Good. And then hands come back to heart center on your inhale chair pose. Bend the knees, sit back, arms reach. Hands are going to come to the heart, and we'll twist to the other side. Left elbow outside the right knee. It helps a lot to have feet together here. So if you just by accident had your feet hip distance apart, bring them a little closer. The big toes can touch, but the ankle bones don't have to. That's it. Can you feel the same amount of weight in both feet? Is it even from heels to toes? Just check in. Create that little lock. Left elbow pushing into the leg pushing out a little. If you want to open it up, try it. See how it feels. If that makes it uncomfortable, go back where you were. Find the work that really matters here. It's not a show. Yoga's not a performance art. It's a spiritual practice. It's a way to get closer to who you are. It's to meet yourself in moments of challenge and try to be with grace. Bring your hands back together, press equally into your feet and come on up. Take both arms up, make that body long, stretch up high, not so much back. Feel the front body open. That's it. And then hands come to heart center. Inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Deep breath in for cobra pose. Exhale as you move back into downward facing dog. And then right foot steps up. Stay on your left toes for high crescent lunge. The arms are going to reach high. I love it. Now pull the hands to heart center. Put some extra weight into the front leg and start floating your back leg up. Now, just because the leg is floating doesn't mean it's not working. Can we put some flexion in the back foot so you feel like you're pushing out of the back heel and lifting a little bit from the left glute? See if you can get both arms to reach forward. So the arms reach forward as much as the leg reaches back. You've got this. And then just with grace, bring your feet together. Stand tall. Lift out of the side waist. That was really good. And now pick up the left knee and put your hand on top of it. The knee's going to push up, the hand's going to push down. I just want you to feel that. Feel the relationship there. Create the lock. Really, really nice. You know, if you push too hard, you can't balance. If you lift too much, you can't balance. You got to find where they work together. Harmony, balance, equanimity. Good. Let that go. Take a vinyasa. Arms reach, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Moving and breathing. Lift halfway. Inhale. Go to plank and lower. On the same exhalation, just keep emptying out. Take a deep breath as you move through cobra. And then exhale, down dog. We start on the left side, high crescent lunge. Left foot steps. Stay on your right toes. You'll rise on an inhale. Root down into your feet. Don't get carried away. Hands come to heart center. Focus. Lean a little weight into the left foot. Ground and push into the left foot and make the right one rise behind you. Let it rise with purpose. The sole of the foot is active. The right glute is toned. That's how you lift that leg. It's not about lifting the hip up. It's about lifting the leg behind you. See if you can take both arms forward. Feel the balance of arms reaching and leg pulling back. I love that. You guys look amazing. Put your feet down together. Reach up high to the sky. Take a breath. Yeah, woo! And then hands come back to the heart. All right, right knee rises. Put your hand on top. Take your left arm up to the sky. One side of the body is expanding and reaching out. The other one is creating a lock. Can you feel it? Sometimes it's the simplest things where we learn the concepts and then we can apply them to more complex things. So know that right now the body is just gathering information. You're mastering a skill. It needs your presence. Lots of neuromuscular connections happening. And this level of awareness should be in everything we do, not just our yoga poses. Go ahead, let it go. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhalation. Think of it as regrouping, syncing up the breath and the movement. Take it back to down dog. And then the right foot steps up, but the left knee is going to go down onto the mat. That's it. Arms sweep up high to the sky. Remember that hip flexor? So left knee is down on the floor. Or you can fold the mat over and make it double. Yeah. Are we okay? Not sure? All right, I'm going to ask you to not be afraid to bend into the right knee. So you come a little forward. Yeah, I want to feel some length on the front of the left hip flexor. Yes. And then both arms are going to reach a little higher. Now, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but if you really try it, it's probably going to happen. You're going to push into the top of your left foot and ankle. Just really ground that. Ground it so much that the left knee can pop up off the floor. So you got to point the toes back. Yes, you got to trust the top of your foot. So the toes are not tucked under. Point the toes back. Press the top of your foot and ankle and see if you can lift up. Pulling the legs into the hip sockets. Yeah, you can do it. It's amazing. Right now, reach higher. Make that hip flexor feel super long. Maybe even add a little back bend. Amazing. Softly put the knee back down. Let both hands come to the mat. Bow your head humbly. Have a moment with that. Listen to your inner dialogue. It's funny how some of us are saying, that was so cool. Some of you are like, she's such an ass, right? Maybe it wasn't projecting out on me, your frustrations. Maybe it's toward yourself. I'm so weak. I can't believe I can't do this. Just listen, listen. We learn so much in the yoga practice. Sink in a little lower to your hips. Take one more breath. And then please tuck your left toes under and sweep your right leg back into a one-leg down dog. Yep, reach that leg up high. Take a deep breath in. And then look at your hands. Step that right foot forward to the hands. Rise up for high crescent lunge. That's an inhale as you come up. Hands come to heart center. Let's lean some weight into the right leg and lift the left behind us. You got this. Then stand up tall. Pull that left knee to the belly. Release your left hand on top of your left knee and feel the lock. That's it. Now take the left leg behind you. See if you can grab a hold of your foot. Can you create a lock there? Push the foot into the hand. Hold the hand firmly so the foot can't really go anywhere. And then extend your right arm forward as you kick your left leg back. See if you can find the balance of your work. There's a grace here. You guys have got this. This is a complex pose. So much happening and you're in it. That's it. Just follow your breath. And then start to pull it back together. Bring the hand in, bring the knee in. Place both feet on the floor. Put a smile on your face. Because it happened. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Go to plank and lower. Back to the familiar. Don't get sloppy. Get more conscious. Hone your skills. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot's going to step up. Right knee is going to touch down on the mat. Arms are going to come up high to the sky. And trust putting that knee down. We're going to point the toes back and we're going to bend a little more into the front leg so we don't have as much weight on the right kneecap. Like just bend the left knee. Let the weight come a little forward. The arms are reaching like you mean it. That's established. And then we're going to start to press through the right foot, the ankle, the toes. The top of that foot is going to ground down so much that that right knee pops up from the floor. You got to pull your legs into your hip sockets. There's some beautiful integration. Sometimes we get the best stretches when we're also contracting. We create what's called congruency around the joints. See if you can get the chest to lift. Maybe take the chest up and back. Yep, a little back bend there. And then gently put that right knee down. Put your hands down and let your head bow humbly forward. Just listen to the inner dialogue. And the real trick is if you don't want to listen to it and you want to stop it right there dead in its tracks, breathe. Right? Pull your attention to your breath. It's your best friend. Sink in a little bit lower. We're just going to take 2 more breaths here. Can you be in that fully? Don't get trapped in what just happened in the past and don't anticipate what's coming in the future. Just be right here, right now. Then we're going to tuck under the right toes. Take that left leg all the way up and sweep it up high into the air. One leg down dog. When you're ready, you'll step that foot through. Left foot to the hands. High crescent lunge. Arms reach up. Hands are going to come to heart center. You're going to lean a little forward, get that foot into the ground, and then float your right leg behind you. Yep. You feel a little work. You've toned the glute a little bit. Keep that leg active. And then gracefully, just come to standing. Pull your right knee to your belly. Right hand goes on top of the knee. Create the lock. Right there. It's all happening right here. Those connections are happening in your brain. They're making messages go to your muscles. All the information is in you. Now let the right leg move behind you. You go from being locked here. Once you grab a hold of the foot, create the lock again. There's a push and a pull. And then as you start to kick back, see if you can take your left arm forward. Everything we've been doing through the practice is right here in this moment. And the fun part is if you kick too far, you kick yourself out of the pose. If you don't kick enough, you have no stability. Find the balance. Manage the wobbles. Forget your obsession with perfection and just be in the process. And then with grace, let it go. Good. Both arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on your inhale. Let's go to plank and lower on the exhale. Work through that. Wipe the slate clean. Inhale through cobra. And then find your way back to down dog. Let's all make a sound. Big inhale. Let me hear you. Ah. I don't know. I didn't hear anything. Was it the motorcycle or was it you? Take one more breath. And then come onto your hands and knees. We call it tabletop pose. You know how we did side plank and we kind of rolled onto our side? Let's do that here. Stay on the right hand and the right knee and just roll onto your right side. Lift your left arm up to the sky. And see if you can lift your left leg away from the mat. Don't let the foot dangle there. Flex it. Pull the toes toward the knee. Make the leg feel really integrated. The limbs can be really heavy, and if we tighten up the muscles, we say tight is light, right? Feel that. Turn your left palm forward, reach the bicep over the ear. See if you can make both sides of your waist feel long. You know how to do that. Pull through the rib cage. Push and pull. Now bend your left knee, reach back with your left hand. See if you can grab your foot and create that lock. Now, is there a back bend in here? Could you get that hip flexor open? Think about left hip bone going forward. Head open, chest wide. Let the head back. Don't be afraid of the space behind you. If your hips are moving forward, you'll find the balance. Now, don't fling or flick yourself out of the pose. With grace, release slowly, return to tabletop. Nicely done. Let's try the other side. Roll on your left side, lift your right arm high to the sky. The right leg starts to lift, and we have to integrate it, right? Tight as light. So we don't want the knee bent, and we don't want the foot dangling. We want to feel the stability that comes from holding muscle to bone. Turn the palm forward, reach the bicep over the ear. The side waist feels long on both sides. There's no collapse here. Try not to sink into your left shoulder. Push down to rise up. Don't sink into your left hip either. That's it. Now when you bend your knee, take the foot behind you. Reach back with your hand. Grab your foot. Make the lock. And then play with opening that up to whatever degree is available to you. Really, if the worst thing that happens to you today is that you overextended yourself a little and you fell out of the pose, that would be a great day, right? You tested the boundaries. You ventured into new territory. You were fearless. I don't see that as a bad thing. I don't see the fall as the result. I see the process as what was important. Let it go with some grace. Let's come into child's pose. Sit back on your heels, let your head rest on the ground. Yoga sets us up to safely test the boundaries, to venture into new territory, to do it with intelligence and grace and mindfulness. To remember to bring breath into everything that we do. Let's take one more breath here. And then slowly come to seated. You can sit on your heels if you like. That feels good to you. If your knees are not happy like that, swing your feet around in front. Simple cross legs. Let's put the left hand onto the heart. Just place it right there on your chest, and then put your right hand on top of it. So left hand on the chest, and then right hand on top of left. And press your hands gently into your body and use them to help let you lift up a little taller. Like just pick yourself up. Elevate the heart space with your hands. Yes. Hold your head up high. And just for a few moments, breathe. Because it came from you. Let your breath have your full attention. You may start to get some information from the sensations of your body, but just see if you can just be with your breath no matter what. No matter what sounds are happening around you downtown, no matter what I say. Just for a moment, just go inside. Feel your heartbeat in your breath and know how precious your life is.
Impossible not to do. Impossible not to do. And now I tell you openly.
We only get so much time.
Don't hurt me. You're what I couldn't find.
Let's do our best to be really present for each and every moment that we can. Let's always remember as we move through our days that we can just come right back to this kind of moment. I mean, it takes less than a moment to put your hands on your chest and take a few deep breaths and remember who you are. Sometimes life makes us forget. Let's let the hands down gently. Put the right hand on your left knee. Put your right hand on your left knee and then your left hand behind you. And just take a little twist. Even though your hands are not there to lift your chest, can you do it from the inside? Can it just innately happen? Now, keep that right hand on the left knee, but lift your left hand off of the mat behind you and stretch it up to the sky. And then start bending over toward your right knee. Just stretch out of your left waist. Super yummy. If you go too far, your sit bones unplug from the mat, so just let them stay grounded. And then let go of the hold on the left knee. Just look down at the right knee and fold your whole body to the right leg. Both hands go to the floor. Fold yourself down on the diagonal. That's it. You can let go of the left knee and turn your chest toward the right knee. Yeah, let go. Let go of that hand. There you go. And just fold. Yeah, it should feel good. If you folded so far that your left sit bone unplugged from the mat, push your hands into the ground and get your left hip back down. It'll help open up the kidney space in the back. Just listen to your body. Honor it. And then rise on the inhalation. Let's keep the left hand on the right knee and take a little twist to the right side. Feel the heart space lift because it can. And then keep holding the right knee so your body stays facing the right, but lift up the right hand and open up that right side body by folding toward the left knee. It's a little diagonal there. Yeah, it should feel good. Twisting and extending. Yeah, breathing. You can use that left hand to pull your twist in a little deeper. And just take one more breath. And then start looking at your left knee. Release the hold on the right knee and just fold your whole body to the left leg. Just take it a little bit to the left side. Feel what opens up there. And both hands can be on the floor. You want to be looking down toward your left knee. Yep. Just relax your neck. And then use both hands. Push them into the floor so the right hip kind of sinks into the mat. Just feel that space open up. And then we'll rise back up. Go ahead and extend both legs. Just unfold your knees. So both legs are straight out in front of you. Take a deep breath, reach both arms high, and then exhale, forward fold. Just fold over your legs. You don't have to grab your toes. Instead, think about this as like a humble moment, right? We're not trying to get anywhere. We're just humbly bowing our heads, letting the spine stretch. The hamstrings will get what they need. You don't have to force anything on them. Just take one more breath. And then slowly start to rise. Lift your head, pull in your belly, bend your knees. And then lay yourself down onto your back. As soon as you lay down, let's keep those knees bent and take both arms straight up over your head. Just like reach them by your ears, not toward the sky, but up toward the ground behind you. Press a little bit into the arms and press a little bit into the feet and lift your hips for me. Just should feel pretty spacious. And if you can bend the knees enough to get the heels right under the knees, you'll get a little more leverage, right? You'll be able to give a little better push. David, make sure your feet are grounded. Yeah, there you go. The whole foot, heels and all of your toes. We push down to rise up and we create space. Think about the hip bones rising. And then start to lower the upper body first. Then feel your back ribs come down. And then pull your tailbone toward your heels a little bit and then lay the lower back down. Just a nice lengthening of the spine. Pull both knees into the belly. That should feel so good. After opening the hip flexors so much, we can really feel the benefits of squeezing the legs into the body. And you can open the knees wide if it feels better. Sometimes the belly gets squished and all the organs in the abdominal cavity get squished. It doesn't feel so good. So we just open them a little wider. Make room for yourself. Let's rock a little bit side to side. And then find the center and leave your left leg exactly as it is. Just hold on to your left knee, but take the right leg into half happy baby. So the right leg is gonna widen and the foot's gonna reach toward the sky as you grab a hold of your foot or your ankle on the right side. And then don't be afraid to bend your knee a little bit. It's not about pushing the foot up, it's about pulling the knee down. So if the leg is fighting you, it's probably because you're pushing. And so what we want to do is we want to soften. Open the knee a little bit wider and soften down a little bit deeper, just so you don't fight yourself so much. Relax your bicep. Relax your knee, your hamstring. That's better. It's starting to go. See, it's starting to go. And then release the hold on the right foot. Switch over to the left side. Just half happy baby pose. A little wide. The knee drawing down toward the mat or to the side. And don't worry about the left one. Oh, wait, we're doing the left one. Sorry, don't worry about the right one. Come back to the breath. the grace of the breath, the time that the breath gives you, the presence. And then you can let go of that left foot. And you can stay right there just holding your knees, or you could do the full-on happy baby pose where you grab both feet. The knees are kind of wide. See if you can keep the tailbone down. It also keeps you from pulling on everything too much. And just breathe. There's something easy about this pose, and sometimes we make it hard. It's called happy baby for a reason, not miserable, anxious adult, right? Now, soften. Let go of your feet. Bring your knees back together. And very carefully put each foot back on the mat. As your feet touch down, turn the feet toward each other, the soles of the feet touching, and let your knees drop open. The knees drop open and the arms can come up overhead, but this time no reaching or pressing, just soften the elbows. Let your shoulders rest, let your hips rest, just let yourself be still for a moment. We're working our way towards stillness. And it's something that is not common. It's not part of our normal life, so we have to ease our way in. Let the body settle. Let the mind settle.
Standing still, watching you until you make up your mind.
2 more breaths. Maybe let the exhales come out of your mouth. There's something a little more relaxing about that sigh. And then we'll close the knees back up to the center. Open your feet a little wider and let the knees go side to side, just a little bit, like windshield wipers. Let them kind of go all the way to the right, all the way to the left. Just make sure your lower back and your hips, everything moves fluidly. Remember at the beginning of practice when we were swaying side to side? And then we'll find center. Let your legs slide out. Let your arms come down by your sides. Open up a space to be content to do nothing just for a moment or two.
I'll be knocking soon. Open up your room. Now
You don't even have to focus on the breath.
you're letting me in. And show me how to prove I'm good enough for you. That we can make it through the thick and the thin. And all that you ever wanted could slip away. The water's getting colder than I can take. Oh, who are you waiting for?
Let's go ahead and awaken gently. Unlike that, I don't know what happened. Look at me like I know, like I did something. It's a wire. All right, we awaken gently, slowly, gracefully, mindfully. We gather ourselves up and eventually we come into seated position. As you come up to sit, take a moment, just meet yourself where you are. Maybe even just take a look around. Look at how amazing everybody looks. It's not the faces we see all over town all day long. Maybe all of us can be this face all around town. Maybe we can be the one who's patient when we're not getting seated right away. When there's no spaces at the gas station to fill up the tank. Like maybe we can just stay like this, just a little bit longer. When that phone rings or you look at your phone and you get that text that's like that person who annoys you so much and they said just the thing that, right? Could you just like go, ugh, and not answer them, right? There's a choice. Like what is it? What is it in us that makes us get so pulled into the stress of life instead of holding this sacred and creating a space that might invite others to be more like this? We live by example as yogis, that's it. We're not imposing it on anyone, although I know some of you have tried. But just open the space by living by example. Believe it or not, your presence makes a difference. Let's bring our hands together at the heart. We'll close with the sacred sound of Om. Take a deep breath with me. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Om peace, peace, perfect peace. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and freedom. May all sentient beings know peace. May we all know love bigger than we ever imagined. May we be examples of this beautiful practice in whatever ways we can as we step off the mat today and back into our community. Namaste. Happy Saturday, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you. Ah, so good. It's a beautiful day in South Florida. Enjoy it. If anyone has a minute or two to come help put a few of the chairs or tables back for the city, I would appreciate that. If you didn't sign in before class, we have the sign-up sheets right here. If you're not getting emails from Yoga Journey or from me personally, you can put your email list down. That's the sign-in sheet for the city, and this is for emails. Tomorrow morning, there's no more yoga poolside. Farmer's Table is getting busy, so they need the patio back. They were graciously, generously giving it to us during COVID, but I think everything is starting to move back into a new normal. Nothing normal about what was. So if you want to practice with me tomorrow morning, 8:30 at the studio. We'll be in the studio. And big news, probably within a month's time, I will be in a new studio space. I'm really excited to announce that we are growing, we are moving, we are evolving and transforming into a really beautiful new space, 3 times the size. It's being renovated right now as we speak. So as soon as that's done, we needed to rip out the floors and pull all the mirrors off, and so we went down to the bare bones of walls and cement, and now we are creating a beautiful sacred space for you. And hopefully in December we'll be in there. So I'll keep you posted. You'll see when you get the emails. I won't be able to not talk about it. And something big. If you like this every Saturday, imagine 10 times this. in Meisner Park on January 1st. It's completely free. It's a beautiful event for the community. We sponsor it every year. We have amazing sponsors and vendors that are helping support creating this event. Please come out on January 1st and be in community. We'll be represented by studios from Miami to Jupiter. Everyone who enters the space that day, because we usually have thousands of people there, everyone will have to show either a COVID test or a negative COVID test or a vaccination card, so that when we're all inside, we all can feel safe. I think that's the way it goes with big events these days. If you go to theater, it's the same thing. So just be prepared to have your card or your a negative test, probably within 48 hours. And then we can gather like this outside in community and do yoga, and it will be beautiful. Thank you. All right, is there anything else to announce? No? You're so welcome. I do have one more thing. The 19th, next Friday, Yin with live music. It's going to be right here in downtown, right on Palmetto at PC's place. It's called Gravity and Oxygen. We're using the outside area. It's all turf and pretty little lights outside. We'll do Yin with live music. My friend Scott's going to come out with the harp and the acoustic guitar to play. It's the full moon that night, so it should be a really beautiful experience to be outside in the moonlight with live music doing Yin yoga. So come and join me. That's on the 19th from 6 to 7:30, right here in downtown.